shine. 4 decades of my life in mind. A digital canvas to paint my experience. And all my friends asking, are you serious? Why not put it all out to sea? And maybe someone can relate to me. A digital collaboration might confuse them, but you gave me the tools, so why shouldn't I use them?
From the heart of Discord in downtown Discourse, it's Podzilla After Dark on the Podzilla 1985 network. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Shannon Young. I'm going to be your host tonight, and with me, of course, for this comedy spectacular is an ensemble of great people. Starting, of course, with Thursday Night Delight, the man who could do no wrong. He's always right, Jesse Kimball.
I think that's the nicest you've been to me in an intro in a while.
I try to be nice to you. You're taking me to see Coheed and Cambria this weekend.
Yeah, so fucking pumped for that.
We'll be appearing this Saturday in St. Louis at the Coheed and Cambria and Primus concert. One of these things is not like the other. Hopefully, one of these things goes on last, so I can leave early.
Yeah, because if Coheed goes before Primus, yeah, we're definitely leaving. Because I like Primus. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit live, but
not in the seat.
No, not in the seat.
I mean, yeah, we're already gonna be there for a few hours. Like, if we could leave a few hours early, maybe beat some traffic. Would be upset about that.
Hot than a motherfucker out there. And speaking of hot than a motherfucker, Lindsay Wolfgong's with us tonight.
Hi. I'm being bad and looking at things on eBay that I don't need, but I want.
She looked over at the screen when I said that, like she didn't expect it.
I didn't, and that's fine.
Shelby Kimball's here.
Okay. It's me.
Shelby, please save the comedy for when my coffee's done. I'm gonna spit it out everywhere. And Double H.
You made me be very mean to you before this started, and now the vibe is off.
I'm laughing all the way to the bank. The reason
I don't know what to do with it.
I don't have my camera on, not because it's unplugged, but because I'm wiping tears constantly from my face. I don't want you guys to see it.
Oh, did you finally fix your stuff?
No, I'm not actually crying either. I can't feel emotions, you know that.
I know.
Should have hit you with the A.D. Bryant, no, my marriage is falling apart. I understand.
Just let me have this one thing, Lindsay. So that song you heard at the beginning of the show there, you might be saying, what the hell was that? That was amazing. Or, you don't care. Either way, I'll tell you what it was. That is the first track off of, and this is serious. This is serious. Some people don't believe me. They don't believe that I'm being serious about this.
More than some, I think. I think there are quite a few people who do not believe you.
They think I'm trolling. They think I'm messing with people. No, legitimately, this Saturday, on August 3rd, my birthday, I'm giving the gift to you. It's God damn, I'm such an asshole. It's my debut album, my first album, under no record label because no one would take me. It's called My Spirit.
And also because you didn't ask.
And I didn't ask because I do everything on my own. I did this I created this podcast on my own. I ran CCW on my own for a major chunk of the time. When I have sex, it's alone. I do everything solo. That is my prerogative. So this Saturday, My Spirit Through Automation, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Artificial Intelligence, will be released. I'll post it on our page where you can listen to it for free. It's a free digital release. I think it's 14 or 15 tracks, no skips, wink, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Or I'll kill myself. Let's see what happens. Anyway.
You've got to stop recording yourself saying these things.
I need to get that audience hooting and hollering as a button. So when I say things like that, I can press it.
Yeah!
Yeah! Instead, we have buttons like this.
Shelby, the crazy cat.
I think my favorite thing is when Ethan tries to do an impersonation of that, and he just goes like, "Yeah, but it's nothing like what you sound like."
He sounds like a sim getting hit by a bus.
I need to hear him do that.
I don't know what's happening. Oh, a sim getting hit by a bus.
Oh, tonight's topic as we hit into August. By the way, check out last night's episode. It was a full house. You think that Deadpool and Wolverine was stacked with cameos and old fan favorites? Wait till you hear the last episode of Extras and Epilogues. We had a full house. It was myself and Hunter, Lindsay, Jesse, Ethan, Steven, Asa Gray, the 5-star man, and Zach Kurgis. I think that's everybody. Did I leave anybody out?
There were too many of us. I should have sat out.
There were too many.
I
There
think that was right.
were too many. There
were a lot.
We talked about the film, very spoiler-heavy review. If you haven't seen it, don't listen to it yet, but if you have, go check it out. It was a lot of fun. Tonight, we're heading into August. Big Willie Style is done. And Hunter, what is the theme for this month when it pertains to Extras and Epilogues? Because it ties into tonight's show.
I was going to say, it's not inaccurate for tonight's show either. August, of course, is back to school August on Extras and Epilogues. So we have four Wednesdays. I counted them correctly this time. There are 4. And we will do 4 of our favorite school-related movies, which, again, is very similar to what we're... Now, I think last night we made a decision, though, right? We settled on some specific ones.
You did. Yeah.
That was the intention anyway, and I can pull that up right now so I can tell you what the sort of plan is. So I think at this point we've settled on Back to School August being Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Election, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. In no particular order. I cannot promise you which one will be next Wednesday, but one of those 4.
Right. And I'm excited to do it.
That's the plan.
Hunter is very excited about it because he finally we get to talk about Election, which you watched a year ago.
Yeah. I think I watched actually 1 year ago in August. It was August or September. I watched it last year, and we pushed it out for some reason, and then it just... There's been a couple of movies I've watched for that show we haven't covered. I know What's Eating Gilbert Grape was one of them.
Yeah. Fuck that
I feel like there was another rom-com in February. Because we only did like 2 shows in February.
There were 2 rom-coms. It was 2 other Sandra Bullock films.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be all Sandra Bullock, I think. But
No. At one point in time, they were all going to be different ones, and then when we ended up moving things around, it ended up just being
that's fine.
The 2 Sandra Bullock movies. That's all we had.
That's fine.
Was The Proposal and
While You Were Sleeping.
While You Were Sleeping.
Yeah.
Jeez, I couldn't come up with the name.
Happy belated birthday to Sandra Bullock, who turned gorgeous a couple of days ago. She gets the same gift every year. Perfection.
Bold of you to say that.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. So tonight kind of ties into that whole high school theme. Lindsay, what's our top 5 for tonight?
Our top 5 movies that either take place or are themed around school.
That's right, and I'm going to stretch that definition as far as possible with some of my picks.
That's fine.
Yeah, see, Extras and Epilogues is... Yeah, the Extras and Epilogues version is very, specific. This is much more...
Loose.
How much about school can it be about?
Right.
Yeah.
Did they mention school?
Did the characters go to school?
Have the characters ever been to school? Yes. But before we do that, we got a little bit to talk about, some not so fun things. Jesse, I got a motherfucker of the week for you.
Oh boy, what you got?
There's a lot of potentials this week, but I know we said we wouldn't give this award out anymore to the same guy, but I got to give it to him for the 9,000th time. Donald Trump, congratulations. You are Podzilla 1985's motherfucker of the week again.
Swimming in trophies.
Yeah, so why this week, you ask? Well, this week...
Why not?
So, Jesse, old Donnie Turnip, he's having a hard time figuring out how to insult Kamala Harris. Now that Joe Biden is out of the race and he can't make old jokes anymore, now he's the old bastard. Not that Joe Biden was an old bastard, let me take that back. Donald Trump is. He's got to come up with something. So he's already called her crazy, which is just his go-to for women. He'll probably say she's nasty at some point. But this week, at a conference for black journalists, Donald Trump decided to question Kamala Harris's blackness.
A place where I'm sure Donald Trump bought his tickets months ago. He was ready to go the moment they went on sale.
He had to be there, 100%.
Who in his fucking organization thought that this was a good plan? There's no way this could go poorly.
It's some intern who just literally did it and said, well, I'll do it for the gram.
Maybe he'll go viral and he'll get more votes this way.
Oh, he certainly went viral.
Yeah, one of those two things happened.
I don't think he's going to get more votes from this, if I can be honest. Now, that's not to say that I don't have a fear that he's going to win. I still have that fear. I think it would be stupid of any of us to presume that just because Kamala Harris is now the presidential, for all intents and purposes, presidential nominee, it would be stupid and arrogant of us to go, oh, well, it's in the bag now, right? She made $200 million just over the past few days, record-setting donations into her. Megan Thee Stallion performed at one of her events. You can't get any bigger than that. But I think it would be insulting to count Donald Trump out. But at the same time, Donald Trump was doing very well with black voters. That is the truth. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. He was doing well with black voters, even more so than Joe Biden, until a black person...
We've said that before, and I still maintain I was unable to find any consistency for that argument.
Well, this is politics, baby. You ain't going to find consistency in many arguments.
And most things that I saw still had Biden heavily favored by black voters. The numbers had gone up for Trump, shockingly enough, but it went from 2% to 5%.
Well,
I don't think 5%
it doesn't matter now.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely does not matter now.
That number is probably very skewed again.
Yeah, and to tie on to that, I have a second. I have a badass motherfucker of the week, and that is Rachel Scott from ABC News. She is the one at that conference who immediately questioned Donald Trump on the things that he has said and asked if it was appropriate for him to be there, considering all of the insulting things he said and the lies he's done and all that. It's so refreshing to see a journalist ask tough questions. And again, that Donald Trump will go into this thinking this is going to work. I don't know what the thought process was. I don't know if he had talked to a black person once on Fox. Maybe he thought they were all, that represented all of them. He thought they were all
he has the one that was pining after him for the vice presidential.
Oh, what was his name? Was it Tim Scott? I don't know.
Tim Scott.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Tim Scott. He also had Ben Carson a couple years ago. Obviously, he's been around one of Omarosa, although she turned on him.
Herman Cain for a little while,
and then he died from COVID.
Yeah,
he did.
He died from COVID.
He died supporting Donald Trump.
Dear God in heaven.
And how?
It's been a funny week in politics. Donald Trump is so scared now because he's not going up against an old man. He's going up against a intelligent, well-spoken, fierce black woman, and he is pissing himself, and that's someone's fetish.
Maybe his.
I doubt that. I think if Donald Trump pisses himself, it's not because he's turned on by Kamala Harris. It's because, at that age, these things come naturally.
The important thing is kind of like with J.D. Vance on the couch. We can't say that that's not the case.
God,
so what for now? We
can only say that he hasn't verified that's the case.
He has not verified or disproved that as the case.
What a 1-2 punch for Donald Trump in the past week and a half. First, he picks J.D. Vance as his vice president, which a lot of people are saying is in the top 3 worst vice presidential picks of all time, including Sarah Palin and Dan Quayle. A man that just a couple of years ago said that Donald Trump was America's Hitler and that he's a never-Trumper, and now he's his vice president. And then Kamala Harris becomes his new nightmare. Wes Craven's new nightmare. She's bad. It's bad.
I mean, we didn't really get into detail there, but worth mentioning that, one of his you said that about him questioning her blackness. He never took into account that she has 2 parents. It's so easy. It's just everybody has 2 options.
It was fucking.
All of a sudden.
It was Donald Trump figuring out how biracial works live on stage.
Yes.
Except he didn't figure it out.
Yeah,
he never quite got it.
Nah, he's still wondering.
He said he crushed it. He said, "Oh, we crushed it at that event."
Did
So,
you?
like, what? Your chances
There's-
of winning?
There's no way that he actually believes that. Like, I have to imagine he got backstage
It's damage
and
control.
he looked at somebody and was like, "What the fuck was that?"
I mean, in fairness, I don't think he believes anything he says.
Yeah, and it's Donald Trump, so he probably did go back there and go, "We crushed it, didn't we?" And someone just shook their head and walked
we
away.
crushed it.
He took his badge off, his Donald Trump "I work for you" badge, and handed it to Trump and walked away. Went back down to Kinko's, got his old job back. Less stress, that's for sure.
God.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, but I'm not going to touch it yet because we don't have all the facts. This whole boxing thing, women's boxing, I ain't touching it yet until we know everything.
I mean,
Oh.
we got pretty much everything, right?
Okay, Pat McAfee.
Well, no.
You gonna let somebody smarter than you figure it out? Is that what he said?
To be fair, they, from what I understand, oh god, this really is a deep dive. I started looking more into this. This woman, the way that they base the genders for the competition is based on your passport. And that's it. Whatever is listed on your passport is how they base the gender for the competition. Her passport has that she is a woman, and where she's from, it's I forget the exact wording that I had heard, but they either don't recognize trans or something. So it would be impossible for her to have woman on her passport unless she were a biological woman. But there's this whole not gray area, but oh god, something about the chromosomes and that certain people have certain more of something, and then that creates confusion on whether they are this or that. And like what I got from this, more so than the whole argument of a man's beating a woman in the Olympics, because that's not what happened. That's stupid. That's a stupid thing to say. Logan Paul is the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. You already knew that, but I said it again. Elon Musk, Jesus Christ. But more so is that some people are raising concern over, before it was you are whatever your genitals are. Are you born with a penis? You're a boy. You're born with a vagina? You're a girl. But now they're starting to muddy the waters of, well, actually, if you have this chromosome and this, you still can't be in the competition as a woman because technically your DNA is more man. Like they're stretching the goalposts so far in so many different ways to fit whatever narrative that they're trying to come up with. It is confusing because they're making it confusing, and it's also a little bit shameful.
So, like, my understanding of the whole situation was that because the Olympics do have like an amount of like gender testing, like they test everybody. Then that stretches all the way back to this accusation of, I think, Russia years ago, like decades ago, about how they fielded an entire group of men in a women's event. And ever since then, there's been like gender testing, and the two women in question, the two boxers, passed all of that testing this year for the Olympics. They passed the same series of testing in 2020 in the Olympics, but they were last year. The main one both of them last year were banned from the World Boxing Championship by that was run by an organization that is so corrupt that they are no longer recognized by anybody that matters.
Well, I did. Go ahead. Sorry, that's done. My apologies.
Oh no, that's pretty much it. Like, they are biologically women. They were born women.
I looked it up.
Etc.
Mandatory sex testing for the Olympics was banned in 1999. But some athletes may have to undergo verification. There is no Olympic code requiring athletes to confirm their identity. And the International Olympic Committee has left sex and gender to the discretion of each sport's governing body. So the Olympics don't test.
So it's whatever governing body takes over that event.
And and that's why I said it gets murky in the arguments that people are making, but from all looks, this was just a woman who hit really hard and hit another woman really hard. And the boxer that she hit, the one that quit, said specifically that she did not quit as a political statement. She was just looking out for her well-being because she's never been hit that hard. And she said she
Which
hopes.
is how boxing works.
Yes.
Like, that's the whole point of a boxing match. When you can't fucking take it anymore, you get out of there.
Tap
It's like
out.
UFC.
Right.
When you're gonna break a limb or have a limb
You tap
broken,
out.
you fucking get out of there.
And she also said that she hopes the other boxer continues through the competition. So take that. You know.
Yeah.
That was the because the big argument that I keep seeing is like, yeah, she definitely said that was not a political statement or anything like that. But the thing that I kept seeing too was just the, that rumor going around that I don't remember the woman's name.
I don't either.
I could probably find it pretty quick. But anyway, because of those rumors, like, and she got hit so hard, she was like, all right, yeah, like you said, I fear for my safety and well-being. So I'm out. Like, that's it. And everybody is saying, like, okay, well, that's because she was definitely thought she was a man, and she didn't want to compete that way, yada, yada, yada.
Right, and that's the thing that's going around is that they've turned it into a trans thing. How many women have to be beat by men before, someone does something, et cetera, et cetera. That's just very insulting. It's very insulting.
But
yes,
importantly, that is not what Pat McAfee was talking about. That's all
Here
I really
you
want to
go
say on
again,
that topic.
defending your
That's all I
goddamn
want to say on
hero,
that
Pat
topic.
McAfee.
It's not my hero.
Every time Jesse comes to Pat McAfee's defense, like fucking Crypto the Super Dog Mud. I don't know what his name is.
I think it's Dog. I don't think he would intentionally call himself Mutt.
That's what Lindsay's dad called me.
That was different.
Right, that was not your choice.
No, well, I've called myself worse. Hey, let's just get to the top 5. I feel like I've made myself perfectly redundant tonight.
Yes, you have.
Unless Jesse, you got a motherfucker, and it can't be me.
No, I do not have a motherfucker this week. We're good.
Okay, if I said it could be me, would it have been me?
No, it would not have been you.
Okay, are we still going to Coheed this weekend?
Yeah, we're still going to Coheed this weekend.
Okay. All right, then let's get to
Hey, Logan Paul posted a retraction about his thing about that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What I have to hear it. What'd he say?
So, okay, originally, did you see what the original post said?
He said it was evil in its purest form.
He said, yeah, this is the purest form of evil unfolding right before your eyes. A man was allowed to beat up a woman on a global stage, crushing her life's dream while fighting for her deceased father. This delusion must end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He then responded, and this is his retraction, and I quote, "Oopsies," in all caps.
God damn it.
Jesus
I might be
I
guilty
hate
of
that man.
I might be guilty of spreading misinformation along with the entirety of this app. Although she's been previously disqualified for failing a quote-unquote gender test and has XY chromosomes, some sources say Iman Khalif was born a biological woman. I stand by my sentiment that biological men should not compete against biological women in any sport, and if you disagree, you're a sick fuck.
Thanks, Logan Paul.
That's Logan Paul's words.
Logan Paul,
be very clear about that.
Famous scammer and crypto thief, who
And
currently
WWE United States champion,
supporter of Donald Trump, currently has a lawsuit going against CoffeeZilla. You motherfucker, you leave CoffeeZilla alone because CoffeeZilla keeps calling him a scammer because he is allegedly allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right,
How many
let's
times do I have to say it before we're okay?
I think we're clear legally. Shelby, we good?
Okay.
We're good.
All right, let's get to the top 5. Lindsay, you said top 5 high school mascots.
Yes.
The Zizzers, which is a real thing.
Just out of curiosity, before we get into this, I'm curious what everyone's high school mascot was. Mine was the Bobcats. Shelby, go.
Mine was the tiger.
Jesse, go.
So I graduated from the same school as Shelby, so it was also the Tigers. However, the most interesting high school that I went to, the most interesting high school mascot, when I lived in Colorado, we were the Beat Diggers.
Okay.
I want Shannon to have 3 more drinks and then try to say that.
Yeah. I had no drinks tonight. I would like. I assumed they would have been called the Colorado dispensaries.
This was long before that was a thing.
Hunter, what about
We
you?
were the Eagles. New Matter was the Eagles.
And Lindsay.
We were the Oilers, so we didn't have a mascot. We had a fucking oil derrick out by the scoreboard.
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 Yes.
Oil.
Yeah. All right. Top 5 movies about high school, involving high school. Maybe the actors are of high school age. You know, it just really depends.
Or nowhere near high
Jesus.
school age.
Yeah.
Which is how it usually works.
It's real.
Thanks, Grease.
There's officially 2 films that I'm afraid someone's going to take from me. And I'm going to go first.
So you go first.
So I can take one of them. And I feel like this one might be on everybody's list. At least Shelby and Lindsay. Probably Lindsay. And it's Clueless.
Oh, no, it's not on mine.
Oh, good.
I mean, it was on my extended list, but I figured you would want it.
Nope.
Between the 2 that I was afraid someone was going to take, that's the one I wanted to keep the most. Because I love the movie Clueless.
It's so good.
I had a huge crush on Alicia Silverstone. And also Stacey Dash. And also Brittany Murphy. And also Paul Rudd. Just go down the line.
Did you hear
on this
Paul
one.
Rudd recently aged, finally?
I'll believe when I see it.
You did. And Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. No, I get the joke now.
I
I'm
don't.
with it.
I must have missed that one. You have to-
In the movie, he says it when they show Cassandra Nova coming out of the. Hey, spoilers, by the way, in case you haven't watched the fucking movie.
That's
When
in
they
the
show
trailer.
Cassandra Nova coming out of the giant
Ant-Man.
skull, the
Yeah,
Ant-Man,
yeah.
he goes. Deadpool looks up and he goes, "Hey, look, Paul Rudd finally aged."
You fourth
Yeah.
wall breaker. Hey, has everyone seen Clueless? You guys aren't excited enough about this. This is a
I
classic.
love it.
This is one of
I don't
the-
know, man. I don't. I get why you're picking it because parts of it do take place in high school and as high school age kids, but I don't know. I don't think of it as a high school movie. It doesn't occur to me as.
Oh,
I don't disagree with your choice, but it's just it doesn't leap to mind for me as a school movie.
See, that was the first one that did leap to mind for me because, you know, a lot of it takes place in the school of getting their teachers to fall in love. It's about, growing up in school and getting older and stuff like that. It's not, I agree with you. It's not like, if you twisted someone's arm and say, what's a school-based film? Yeah, it's murky. But I think it qualifies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't disagree at all that it qualifies. It's not one that occurred to me as something for this.
And it's a great film,
That's
well
all.
acted. Dan Hedaya is in it. I'll watch anything Dan Hedaya is in. Except Alien Resurrection. You couldn't pay me to watch that fucking thing again. It's also got a great soundtrack. I had the soundtrack when I was a kid. Rolling with the Homies yes, it's that good. You know, it's that third Coolio song you remember, other than Dangerous Minds and fuck. What was the other one?
Gangsta's Paradise.
Gangsta's Paradise from Dangerous Minds. Yeah. But no,
Also, bold of you to leave out Fantastic Voyage.
that's the one I was thinking of. That's the third one I was thinking of. Because I said
Oh,
Dangerous
okay.
Minds, but I meant Gangster's Paradise because I couldn't remember the fucking name of any of the songs. It's. Hey, speaking of Clueless,
Hey, I wonder what Shannon's other school-based movie is.
we'll find out. Let's go to Jesse though.
Going to me? Okay. My first one, this is just one of my favorite movies of all time, straight up. It's going to be School of Rock.
I was already
Yes.
typing it. I was already typing it. I knew.
You knew.
That's such a good movie. It's a great all-around film. I still regularly watch it. It still holds up. It's just it's a fun movie, and I absolutely love that film.
I have never seen that movie.
Listen, they need
Because you're going to
They
stick
need
it
a-
to the man.
they need a bass
He's
player and the other
sticking
plays
the
cello. But you turn that thing up to the side and cello. That's a bass. Sarah has never seen it either, and we were talking about that because she's not a huge fan of Jack Black in general. And I said, I honestly think if there's a Jack Black movie you'd like, it'd be this one. Because while he is very Jack Black, there's also that heart.
He's sweet.
And, yeah, exactly. It's not just him at 11 the entire movie.
I'll go
Yeah,
with that.
I really, really like that movie. It is very good.
Weren't they going to make a
and-
sequel to that, or like a TV show based on it, or something?
TV show,
They-
I think.
And they talked about making a sequel a couple of times, and it's just nothing's ever come of it. So is what it is.
Oh,
Well-
they did make a TV show.
They
Did
did.
Yep, on Nickelodeon.
Huh?
Ran for 3 seasons.
Holy shit!
Huh?
Was Jack Black in it at all, or?
No,
Okay.
not even close.
I imagine none of the original characters were.
They were not.
All right.
No, it looks like it follows the general premise of the movie, but like stretched out over 3 seasons.
You know what that
basically.
reminds me of? That reminds me of when they made the TV show based on Clueless.
Oh
And
God.
and couldn't bring back
That didn't work out either.
They did bring back Stacey Dash and Donald Faison. But that was it.
Yeah.
That's the only ones they could get.
I do
Anyway.
love Donald Faison.
Who doesn't? Shelby.
I'm gonna go with the Harry Potter series because I was informed I could not use Harry Potter for each of the movies as each of my choices.
That would have been
So
real
she's
dick
just taking
move.
the whole franchise.
I just
I
took them all.
don't know. I would have let you get away with that.
I would have too, but I'm
I
not
would've
cruel
been
like
fine.
Jesse. We don't hate you like Jesse does.
I said that you guys probably wouldn't do it. That's my bad. That's on me.
I set no limitations.
Yeah, but to be fair, I always like Shelby's really weird picks, so I can't just have her talk about Harry Potter the entire time. I need to hear some strange, like, Russian animated film she saw when she was in prison. I need to know.
In prison.
I'm gonna disappoint you this time because I am not a huge fan of traditional like movies that are based around like school themed things.
Oh,
I like Harry Potter because it's just this crazy fantasy world.
I'm stretching mine out so hard.
I thought about stretching and then I was like, I can come up with some. I know there are some that everyone might enjoy without me going too far out there. So I tried to be pretty tame on this one. I'm sorry.
Well, before we move on, what's your favorite Harry Potter one?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's
That-
the correct answer.
Was that the one with Sirius Black?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
And the hippogriffs and just like everything you think of as a kid, like that first thought in your head of like flying magical creatures and just wild things happening in a magical world. Like it's all happening in Prisoner of Azkaban. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to ask then, what's the worst Harry Potter film? I'm not saying
know.
that. I'm not saying that it's bad, but just amongst itself, which one's the worst one?
Probably for me, personally, it was Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
While the book itself was really, really good and it did it really well, it gave all the tension and all like the build up to basically the end of the story. In the movies, it just kind of took a really dark, melancholy tone.
And it
it-
didn't
it's-
translate.
Yeah, it's kind of like the least memorable of the films in terms of favorite scenes that people would think of.
Order of the Phoenix was the one with Umbridge, right?
Yes.
5.
Yeah. Okay. Order of the Phoenix was book 5. Yeah. Right?
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking hated Dolores Umbridge.
She's
Like,
such
we all
a good
did.
character to
Everyone
hate.
did, yeah.
oh my god! Like it went so far beyond that. Like, oh
Hate-
yeah, she's great because she,
Hate,
I hate her.
hate.
But god damn, I
Hated her so much that everyone was okay when she got carted off into the woods by a bunch of centaurs to absolutely get raped.
yeah,
Like that's
100%.
definitely what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what was
Wow.
happening. And
Yeah.
everyone was like,
everybody was fine with it.
bye, bitch.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Yep.
bye.
Does she come back from that, or is that it for her?
No,
No,
comes
she
back
did.
from that.
All right, moving on to Double H.
Okay, well, this is tough.
Bring
Because
this
I really
back,
want to take
please.
I really want to take your other one.
I want you to
I
take
really
it.
do.
I want you to because I put an extra one on there because I'm curious if we had the same thought. So I want you to.
Well, I'm not going to because there's one I'm really afraid is going to get taken if I don't take it between
Okay.
now and then, and it's a very important one for my list. I'm taking Mean Girls off the table right now.
Damn
You
it.
can have it.
I've never seen it, but
Mean
I've heard
Girls
it's
is
great.
so fucking funny.
Wait,
I
okay,
have seen this movie so many times.
the first
so
one or the
good.
new one?
The only one that matters, which is the original one.
Sorry.
No,
It's
the
so
musical.
good.
The musical movie is real bad from what I've gathered. I haven't seen it, admittedly. We are going to see the actual stage show at the Fox sometime in the near future. But no, the original movie written by Tina Fey, Lindsay Lohan. It's just fucking hilarious. It's still so funny to this day. Tim Meadows, Shannon is great in it, and you would love him for that, or you would love it for him, maybe. Mean Girls is legitimately, when I think of school movies, one of the very first things that comes to mind is that movie. It almost entirely takes place around a school setting. It's themed around cliques and popular kids and what happens when you get a little too deep undercover and that kind of thing. And it's just phenomenal.
One of the memes that I can always remember, it's not even a meme, it's just a quote, but I see it all the time, is it's something like, he asked me what day it was.
It's October 3rd.
Yep.
Yeah.
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was, and she says it's October 3rd.
It's very funny.
See, October 3rd has a different meaning for me. It's Full Metal Alchemist.
I always see both of those posts every October 3rd.
You can't just say it's Full Metal Alchemist. Did it come out on
It's
October 3rd?
It's when Edward and Al fucked up.
Okay.
They fucked up big time.
That's the date on the inside of the pocket watch.
It's Equivalent Exchange, I believe is what it was called. Lindsay.
I'm starting my stuff off with The Breakfast Club because I fucking love that movie.
Starring me.
Yes.
I can't tell you. Once I started putting on the denim jacket and I had the long hair, I can't tell you how many times people called me Judd Nelson. I got so sick of it. They didn't call me Bender. They called me Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
Never seen The Breakfast Club.
Wow.
Hunter, I was right there with you until like a year ago. I finally watched it. And I was like, the movie.
I have seen bits and pieces of it, but I have never seen that movie beginning to end. I know important scenes, but that's it.
You have honestly probably seen the entire film.
Because pop culture pulls from it, they pull from like every piece.
Isn't this what's his name?
John Hughes.
John Hughes, yeah.
John Hughes.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I watched it, I could definitely see, I definitely had seen the entire film previously, just through like other forms of media alluding to it.
All right, well, for the record, literally the rest of my films are horror films, just so everybody knows.
Oh, can I say it then? Because I knew what it was.
Go ahead.
The next one.
Let's see if you get it.
Is it The Faculty?
It's The Faculty, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to fucking take it, but I was like, no, I love The Faculty, but I'm going to let him have it because I want Mean Girls more.
Yeah, Faculty, it's not a Whedon film, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I gotta look it up now. No, it's Kevin Williamson, right? Yeah, Kevin Williamson. Oh, thank God. The same guy that did Scream. Yeah. Got a little scared there for a second. I don't want to touch anything that Whedon's touched. I don't even like saying that. So Faculty, it's I'm sure you've seen The Faculty. Everyone's seen The Faculty, haven't they? Yeah. It's got Usher Raymond in it.
It's been a long time.
AKA just Usher.
Just Ursh. It's aliens invade and high school students have to band together to stop the alien invasion. I mean, that's it. That's the movie. It's kind of like The Thing in that you never know who's an alien and who's not an alien, and it has an amazing cast. I looked it up right now just so I got everybody that I couldn't remember. Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Laura Harris, Josh Hartnett, Famke Janssen, Piper Laurie, Baby Newworth from Frasier. Bebe's kids. Robert Patrick, Jon Stewart, and Elijah Wood. I mean, it was a great movie. It was a fun movie. The graphics do not hold up, but I still really liked it a lot.
It's also very fucking creepy. As horror movies go, it's
Salma
legitimately
Hayek. Did I say Salma Hayek?
It's hard to watch. Yes. What always comes to mind to me is that scene of Robert Patrick as the coach and the guys just standing on the football field looking up into the rain.
Yeah.
And the kids in the class or in the building locking the doors to keep them out. Ooh, that's disturbing.
It's good stuff. There's a lot of good horror films take place either in school or based on school age characters, and it was really hard for me to pick the rest of them because there's a lot that I love. That's why I thought Shelby might take a couple of them, being a horror lover as I am. But let's see what she's got up her sleeves. But we're gonna go to Jesse for number 2.
Number 2, I'm going to take another one of my just favorite all-time films, Superbad.
Damn it. Should have done that. That was very high on my list as well.
Yeah, I had Mean Girls real high on my list too.
Man.
So I have a feeling that we're going to be sniping a few from each other, Hunter.
Yep.
But yeah, Superbad is just an incredible fucking movie. It's another coming-of-age film. Some nerdy guys everybody see this movie at this point, right? You guys have seen this movie?
A million
one?
times.
Which one was it again?
Super bad.
Super
I
bad.
have never seen
Nope.
that film.
With Jonah
Oh
Hill
my god.
No.
and Michael Cera.
We're,
No.
Damn
we
it.
are watching
That's
Super
what it
Bad
is.
for November, for nostalgic November. Then, damn it.
Yeah, that's absolutely worth watching. I'll be on that show too.
Again, it's another one of those things that I'm pretty sure I know a lot about it because of all the memes and McLovin and all that stuff. So I'm
And that's-
aware of them.
And that's such a the
Yeah,
McLovin
McLovin is
stuff
such a
took
small
off
part.
like a big deal, but honestly, so much more of the movie. 98% of the movie is funnier than that stuff.
Absolutely.
Jesse, that's the coolest fucking story that you've. Can you tell it again? Do you have time?
Oh,
Can you
fuck
tell
you.
me?
God damn, I love that movie. It's so good.
Oh, I love
That's another one of those movies that I'll just regularly throw on in the background and just have running because it's
He drew so many dicks.
he drew
had to
so
hide
many
him.
dicks.
Shannon had to hide him in his Ghostbusters lunchbox, and then they caught him, and they were all in there.
And look, it's not that weird. It turns out 10% of the population or something like that does it.
But now he can't eat dick-shaped foods. Do you know what kind of foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds. Hot dogs, popsicles. He can't do it.
All right,
Oh,
Shelby, please. I don't
good.
get these references. Go ahead.
You will.
Mhm.
I am
Threatening.
gonna go with Carrie. That was.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Damn, that's a good
Just
one.
a
Feel good family
classic
film.
one. Yeah, everyone can enjoy.
Feel good family film where a mother and daughter learn to accept each other.
So Shelby, the old one or the new one?
The old one, because I haven't seen the new one.
Just watch the old one.
Oh, I was going to say, please save yourself. Don't. You have
Yeah,
a rare
I
opportunity
have
here.
not seen the new one.
I didn't hate the new one.
It's just unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, sometimes movies aren't terrible by nature; they're just unnecessary. Like the remake to Psycho. It wasn't a terribly done film, but it was. What was the point?
I needed it.
Yeah, Hunter, what do you got?
Well, if we're doing horror this round, and I might end up losing another one, I'm going with Scream. Obviously.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was on a short list.
I figured that'd be on
Yep.
there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. If I didn't get the
even
faculty,
think
I had
about
to get
that being
Scream.
a high school movie.
Oh yeah.
Or a
Most of that
school
movie takes place either in and around a school or at a school party. So.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like I just
Yep.
didn't even think about it because that's
That's-
also one of my favorite
It's
movies.
like Clueless.
And it's also another one of those these high schoolers who are obviously in their late 20s.
Yeah, but
Yep.
but it's okay because it was Rose McGowan and
Hello, fellow
Right.
teens.
Super bitch.
yes. How often do I quote that, Hunter? How often do I take that?
I told
quote?
you I fucking love it because you throw my name in it, and I
Yes.
don't know why, but it tickles me every time. Bam, bitch went down. Hunter Hendricks, super bitch. I don't know why. I don't know why I like this.
I
so
don't
much.
think I've
It is
ever
how-
been. One of my all-time most pissed off movie deaths in horror was when she died. I was so mad because I liked her character so much.
Yep.
And the way she died, she got her head stuck in the fucking garage door. Oh, fuck off. Lindsay, go ahead.
No, this is also just
Well-
generally one of my favorite movies, but definitely on this list.
Yeah.
I don't have a horror movie, but I have a dark comedy, so I'll throw it this time.
Can
and
I
go
guess?
with Heathers.
Damn it, you're supposed to say yes,
Yeah.
and then I guess
Told
it.
me that was way off there. God damn it.
I didn't hear you say, "Can I guess?" I was still talking. I'm sorry.
It's because you were trying to
Let's
cut Shelby off before she could take it.
Lindsay, I have you know I'm 2 for 2 on your list so far.
That's fine. I'm sure you can, as you said, probably predict my entire list, save for maybe one.
And Shelby, you absolutely should have taken that one because I don't think anybody else was going to take Carrie, but Heather's wouldn't have made it to round 3. Just put
And
it
I
that way.
I thought Shannon was going to take Carrie from me, and I was hoping the Heathers would make it back, but
I don't think it's this type
Sorry.
of horror.
What? Carrie?
Carrie.
I like Carrie, but no, it's generally not my type of. I liked it when she killed everyone at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was good.
That's the part.
That's the best part. Fuck you, John Travolta. you bastard. Anyway,
Piece of shit.
yeah.
Hey, what's Heather's about, Lindsay?
Heather's? I've seen Heather's, and it's really good.
oh my
Yes.
God,
Winona
it's so
Ryder.
good.
It's about a bunch of
Crush the crush button.
bitchy popular girls that cause
Mean
everybody
Girls?
trouble, and they end up killing the main one
Yeah,
by getting her to drink
Yeah.
cleaning fluids, basically.
But then, okay, so
Yeah, that's it.
so that's the basic setup. I watched this movie a couple years ago finally because Lindsay had always talked about it. It gets so weird though. By the end of it, Christian Slater is trying to murder everyone, and Winona Ryder ends up killing him.
Yep.
It's so
Because he's
weird.
going to blow up the school.
It gets
And the school counselor becomes obsessed with like people committing suicide and like throwing these big yes, let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's really strange. It's a good movie, and it was mean. It was the meanest girls, some would say. Okay,
Yeah.
for Nightmare, my next pick,
Take two.
Okay.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the horror movies I had on my list.
When I think of high school horror, I always go back to A Nightmare on Elm Street because there's so much done in this movie, done right. Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger is one of the all-time greats. Heather Langenkamp as the main character, as Nancy Thompson. To me, she's my favorite final girl. I know Tanner likes Laurie Strode, I think. A lot of people like Laurie Strode, but I like Nancy Thompson.
Until she, in inflatable doll form, gets ripped through the door in the end.
No, that's her mother. That's her mother.
Oh, that's right. That's her
her mother.
mom. Shit.
And one of the
Yeah,
worst,
you're right.
one of the worst.
So bad.
Yeah.
What's so bad?
What's crazy about that is that effect is so terrible and it's bad, but everything else in the movie's good. The part where he leans against the wall and it's just like the sheet, they tried to remake that they redid it in the remake, but with CG, and it looked terrible.
Yeah, it's so much worse.
Horrible.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the story behind that was just essentially that the ending was a reshoot.
Yeah.
That wasn't the original ending, and the fucking budget was gone, so they were like, look, any way you can make this happen, just make it happen.
I think they wanted to sow the seeds that they would do a sequel.
Right.
Because I think they figured out
And
that
they
movie was going to do.
did.
They did a lot. It stopped being good around the first one. And then
That's correct.
But it was varying degrees of fun though, because even if the movies were bad, it was still fun to see Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. If you have a movie like, and no offense to Tanner, I know he loves the Friday the 13th series, but when you have a silent killer like Jason Voorhees and you have a bad film, it's a boring movie. But if you have a bad film and an entertaining killer like Freddy Krueger, there's something you can at least take joy from. It did come back around though with Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and that was legitimately good. But you can't beat the first one. A Nightmare on Elm Street is amazing, well worth it. Let's go to Jesse Kimball.
All right, my next one. I'm going to go ahead and take my other horror movie before Shannon does.
Don't you do it?
I'm going to go with Happy Death Day.
I forgot about that one.
That wasn't it, but that's a good choice.
You scored me. Yeah, that's a good one. I love that movie.
It's such a good movie. I remember, because I think me and Shannon were both, Shannon, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was you that I was talking to about this. When it first came out, it's like, this movie looks so fucking stupid.
Yes.
It's going to be awful, right? And then we watched it, and we were both
really entertaining.
Holy shit, that movie was incredible.
I will never forget this. We had talked about how bad it was. I didn't want to see it. And then Allie and I saw that Big Lee had posted how much he hated it. And we looked at each other and went, well, if Lee hated it, it might be good. So we took the chance on it, and sure enough, it was great. It's so much fun.
It's such a good movie. For those that haven't seen it, you should. It's basically Groundhog Day, but she has to, solve her murder and her own murder. And it is a truly delightful film. Because I really enjoyed it.
It gets silly in the same way that Groundhog Day does. Once she realizes she can't die, there's a part where she jumps out of a plane in a bikini, just flipping everybody off as she hits the ground. Yep. It's weird. It's very good though. What did you think of the sequel? So cool. Did you like the sequel?
I actually did. I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still good.
No, the first one was phenomenal. The sequel was. I still enjoyed watching it, but.
It was interesting. Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Definitely that.
All right, Shelby.
I'm gonna go with Dead Poets Society.
Oh,
good choice.
Look at you getting real with us.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's one of
my favorite Robin Williams film.
Hunter was gonna take, so I'm just gonna put that one on.
Would you believe I haven't seen that either?
Really?
Wow.
Shelby, that was going to be my pick this round, if that makes you feel any better.
I got one from you.
I've seen parts. I've seen Robin Williams doing the Captain of My Soul speech and all that, but I've never seen the whole movie. Not that I know of. Now, I could be wrong. There were quite a few things we watched when I was in school that were school related. Like I've seen Mr. Holland's Opus about 8 million times. Not that I remember shit about it. And I think Dead Poet Society might have been one of them, but I got very little memory of that.
I mean, to be fair, if you watched it in school, it's one of those movies where in school it does not hit the same way as after
Right.
school. You have to have had some kind of loss in your
The
life
context.
for that movie to really, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair.
I think better than that, though, Hunter, is the SNL skit with Farewell, Mr. Bunting.
No.
It's not. It's not. It's just blood and gore.
I like that one. I like that. The fact that it's not funny, and the only time they get a reaction is when the head comes off. But it's such a shocking moment, and this is before Sarah Sherman got on there and did that weekly. That it was a holy shit, what is happening? Anyway, let's go to Hunter.
Okay, let me go ahead and get Can't Hardly Wait
It's
off
such
my
a
list
good
here.
movie.
Good movie.
Oh,
Such
my
a good
God.
one. Would you
This
like
is-
to touch my penis?
I think some people would call Mean Girls like for a certain generation, like the quintessential kind of teen high school movie, but I think it's this one. For me, it is 100% this one. I watched this movie on USA Network so many times that there was a point in time where I could quote it word for word as I was watching it. Like every fucking line that came up. Seth Green is hilarious in this movie. Oh God, what's her name? She plays the well, not Jennifer Love Hewitt. Obviously she's great,
The sister.
but it's the it's the girlfriend of Selma Blair. That's who I was trying to think of.
okay.
She's not in it
Okay.
very long, but she's also great in it.
I thought you were talking about the sister. I don't remember her name either. I think she was in Scott Pilgrim too, as the drummer.
Oh yeah.
Allison Pill. Allison Pill.
Allison Pill. It's
Yeah.
Kim Pine, but it's Allison Pill. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the character. Or from Scott Pilgrim anyway. Anyway, Can't Hardly Wait is great. I don't think any of it actually takes place in a school. I think as
No,
the movie
it's a
started,
party.
they're leaving school, if I remember correctly.
Party.
But
That's fine,
it's a
though.
graduation party. It's a
Right.
high school graduation party. It's seniors who are getting together for the last time. And it's just, it probably does. Oh, Donald Faisana's in this too, actually, now that I think about
He's
it.
in all of these movies, actually.
Yeah, he's
like-
he's the drummer for the band.
Yeah, he's in every movie as a drummer.
Well, then I'm wearing the fucking cowboy hat. No, you're not. I don't know how well it holds up because I haven't seen it in years, and I'm sure there's a lot of like, oh, it was the '90s type humor.
Probably.
But man, it was one of those movies that was just very poignant when I was a kid. It's very good. Oh, Shannon, what's her name? She plays the angel that the main character runs into at the payphone later. She was on a sitcom. It's not Tay Leone. She was on Dharma and Greg.
Jenna Elfman.
Jenna Elfman, thank you, is also in this very briefly. It's like a cameo, but she's also very funny in it. It's just a good TV movie, basically, even though it was a theatrical release.
Yes, and in the same way that like While You Were Sleeping made me fall in love for the first time with a girl and Sandra Bullock, this was the first time I ever realized there were women that were unattainable by any mortal men, and that was Jennifer Love Hewitt, because she was so adorable in this movie. It's so attractive and just like I almost watched Party of Five. Almost, but I didn't.
Pretty sure this was the time that she was dating Will Friedle from Boy Meets World, because he mentions it on Boy Meets World every once in a while.
What a
They dated
bastard.
for some time now. Like he just calls her love, because that's what he called her when they were dating. And it's every
What a
time
ba-
I'm like,
How unfair.
you were so close. That's wild.
How unfair to date a girl whose middle name is Love. That shit only happens in films. I hate Will Friedle. Lindsay, you're next.
Well, seeing that everybody likes to say the films that I'm going to bring up, I'll go with Mr. Holland's Opus next.
It's a good movie, too.
Well, shit fire. Okay. It was not on my list. Like I said, I've seen it
No,
so many
I
times
love
and I remember
this
nothing
movie.
about it.
I will go back and rewatch this movie anytime just because I love all the music that plays in it, and I like the passage of time throughout the different decades.
I got nothing else on that one.
It's
Richard
we watched
Dreyfuss.
it. I remember watching it in like music classes, like at the end of the year when we were done with our concert, but there's like a week of school left or whatever. It was one of those things that we would watch over the course of a few days in like choir or something.
Yeah.
Because he's a band director, right?
Yes, yeah, but the whole thing is he starts off by saying that he'll go back to teaching because he finds out his wife is pregnant, as opposed to him working on his composing. And he's like, I'll just do it for a little bit, and ends up doing it his entire life, basically.
Yeah.
I believe his name was Mr. Holland.
Yes.
Yes, Glenn Holland.
Okay. So I'm a little surprised no one took this one, and I'm a little scared to take it because I feel like Shelby's already looking at the camera, and now I'm terrified.
Oh no.
So instead, I'm going to hold off on this one and pick one that I'm also worried Shelby might take because she's the only person in the world that's ever watched this movie series but me. Shelby, don't do this.
Are you taking it?
Which one is
Should the
it?
question be which one? Because if it's the series I'm thinking of, I can only remember one of them.
I feel like Marge Simpson. Somebody throw the
goddamn ball.
Just say it.
Whispering Corridors 3, Wishing Stairs.
That's the only one I can remember. Yes.
That's my favorite one.
What in the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I also have no idea what's going on right now.
It's Korean horror that takes place at an all-girls school.
Yeah, it's about two girls who are in love, and they're both in ballet, and there's a legend that if you climb up these stairs, if you get to the 29th stair and make a wish, it comes true. So one of the girls...
That was just 13th.
That's a different movie. This is 29, believe me. Believe me, I looked it up because I forgot.
Okay.
So one girl gets to the 29th stair. She wishes to be the lead in the ballet. She wants to be, first. And the next day, the other girl gets first. And out of anger, she pushes the girl down the stairs and kills her by accident. And so she is then like guilt-stricken over what she did because she very much loved her. At the same time, the spirit of the other girl comes back to kind of torment her. And it's just, it's kind of scary, but it's just really tragic. It's a really sad story. Like, it's not a boo, scare you kind of story. It's very sorrowful and it's depressing, but I really loved it. And it's one of those Korean horror films that always stuck with me, along with The Tale of Two Sisters, but that doesn't take place in school at all, so I couldn't take it. It's a whole series.
I didn't even think about that series at all.
I love that series.
Until, you actually started describing it. I was like, God damn it, why didn't I think about that?
I thought you would have. And I'm like, I hope she didn't take this one because this is my favorite one of them. Yeah, it's called Wishing Stairs. It's really good. If you ever get a chance to watch it, I don't know where the fuck you can find it, but I highly recommend it, especially if you want to cry. Yeah. God damn you, Blockbuster. That's why I rented it. And now they don't exist. Anyway. Jesse.
Not really.
Why did I return it? At the time, you couldn't just take them. Like, they would sue you. Anyway,
Kirk Waters could.
Kirk Waters did a lot of things.
That was a different place.
That was a different man.
All right.
Whoa.
I think for my next one, I'm gonna go with. Jesus, I still have a lot of these that I kind of want.
Me too.
I'm gonna go with Easy A,
That's a good one.
starring Emma Stone.
Yeah.
It's an excellent film. The whole thing is kind of like Scarlet Letter-esque. She's,
I hated that.
You hated that movie?
So I hated.
Oh, you hated Scarlet Letter.
I hate Nathaniel Hawthorne with every fiber of my fucking being.
Oh, here we go with that shit again.
Sorry, I hate it.
Shelby's
she's
notorious,
right.
her
She's
notorious hatred of Hawthorne.
Hate for Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Yeah, it's very famous at this point in the group. Shelby is anyway.
Have to
So
hold her back.
it's not based on the Scarlet Letter. It's just like they happen to be reading that at the time. The premise is that she, in exchange for cash, allows people to say that they've slept with her.
Yes.
Or went on
Even
dates
though
with
they
her
haven't.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Hence getting a
and
Scarlet
and
Letter.
often gift cards.
Yeah, frequently gift cards. It's a very, very good movie. I highly recommend checking it out if you have not.
Thomas Hayden Church is so fucking good in that movie.
Yes.
And led to one of my favorite movie quotes in general that has just gotten better like a fine wine the more I get into my current career and the time that goes on, to the point that by memory I can go, I don't know what your generation's thought is with what your generation's fascination is with documenting their every thought, but I assure you they're not all diamonds. Like, Roman is having an okay day and bought a Coke Zero at the gas station, raised the roof. Who gives a rat's ass? That and then Stanley Tucci is so good in that movie too.
Oh, Tucci
Dad,
Gang.
am I adopted? Damn it! Who told you? And the kid's black.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I've never seen that one.
That's a good one.
It's
That's
a good
very
movie.
funny.
You know, I have huge crush on Emma Stone. Like, she's one of my longtime celebrity crushes. And yeah, like, she's excellent in the film. It's an excellent movie. It's an excellent story. It's very, very good.
God, Penn Badgley is good in that movie too, to the point that I wonder why he didn't get more work until he started doing that creepy stalker show on Netflix.
I've
Very
never heard of
Creepy
the
stalker
man.
show on Netflix.
He's in You. He's in that show You on Netflix. Penn Badgley is he's the dude from Gossip Girl, one of the dudes from Gossip Girl, who's not Chase Crawford.
Well, that brings back some PTSD.
And don't forget about Amanda Bynes as the leader
God,
of the ultra-religious group in the film.
The Christian Coalition. Oh Lord, she's gonna pray for her soul.
I think we actually have a quote here from Amanda Bynes talking about her role in that film. Who was next? I forget. Shelby.
Me.
I remembered.
So I did remember one, Shannon, that you might end up liking. It is more a series than it is a full movie, but I'm gonna count it anyway.
Count it.
It's called Another. It is a horror anime. It's very Final Destination like.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't know if I've ever heard of this. I'm looking it up now. You said it's an anime?
Yeah. Basically, this kid goes to this school, and it's fucking cursed. Like, death follows him. The craziest
Oh,
fucking
God.
shit happens. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
Dear God, I looked up images. I regret that.
Yeah, that was a bad choice.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think there's, like, more than 2 frames where there isn't blood involved.
Damn.
Okay.
It's pretty messed up. When they say, like, Final Destination, like, they're not kidding.
All right, Hunter. I'll have dreams tonight.
Sorry, and you're welcome.
I'm like Jesse. I have a lot of choices here. I'm gonna pick one that almost definitely nobody has on their list. But I saw this movie in high school. I liked it a lot then. Thought it was very funny then, and I'm sticking with it. It's called Get Over It.
I saw that.
I think I've mentioned it. Yeah, I was gonna say I've mentioned it a couple times here. Kirsten Dunst, Ben Foster, Cisco is in this movie. But Martin Short is in it, and he's so fucking funny. The gist of it basically is that this school was putting on a Midsummer Night's Dream, and Martin Short is basically brought in as this over the top, ridiculous, kind of basically his character from Only Murders in the Building. Like, he rewrites A Midsummer Night's Dream. He specifically says, hey, Bill Shakespeare was a great poet, but Burt Bacharach, he ain't. And so he rewrites it as this like modern musical.
Maybe I have seen this movie.
It's very
the title isn't clicking,
funny.
but like this sounds familiar.
He just, every time he's on screen, which is true of Martin Short anyway, but he's just fucking hilarious. There's a bit, it's another one of those things where a bit from a movie sticks with me, where it's like the little girl who's his assistant gets hit in the crotch at some point in time, and so he turns to her out of nowhere in the middle of this tirade at the cast, and he goes, "Keep icing your front bum. Swelling continues if you don't ice, and I need you." And then he just looks away and goes, "Not really." And just walks off. It's so fucking good, man. Put your hand down, little Steve. He's just yelling through the entire movie, and it's one of those times where it just works.
Oh, we got to get that sound clip of "Put your hand down, little Steve" for Steven whenever he's on.
Put your hand down, little Steve. There's a song that they wrote into it called "Pocket Full of Dreams," and one of the band members goes, "Yeah, down here we call it Pocket Full of Ass." It's just a real stupid ass movie, but in a very, very funny way. Oh, the gist of it, by the way, is that Ben Foster's character gets broken up with by Kirsten Dunst at the beginning of the movie. There's a whole dance number over the opening credits to that, done musical style, where like people are following him as he's sad down the street, like dancing behind him. And so he auditions for the play to try to get back together with her. I mean, it's a razor thin plot, but the cast makes it completely. I would watch this movie any day of the week.
I love me some Ben Foster. I mentioned him last night when we talked about
X3.
He's a kid
in it.
He was Angel in X3. He was real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, one of the opening lines is like something because it's him in voiceover, kind of laying the whole thing out, and he's like, "For the first time in my life, I was in love, and I knew it would last forever." And then it's like he and Kirsten Dunst are kissing. He just goes, "Boy, was I a dumbass," and then it just right into it. It's very good.
Lindsay.
All right. One that we've already done on Extras and Epilogues. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, there it is. Let's take it off my list.
Yep.
If you were
I
going
was
to take it,
waiting
I
on
was
it.
going to. Yeah.
I love this movie. It's another one I'll just throw on in the background whenever and just let it go.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a retelling of what? Taming of the Shrew?
Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah. One of Heath Ledger's best roles.
Clueless is Emma. Easy A is essentially the Scarlet Letter. All of these are really just adaptations.
Except for that part where what is her name? What's her name?
Which movie?
Lindsay, what's her
10
name?
Things I Hate About You?
Julia Stiles.
Julia. Okay, I was going to say Julia Stiles or her sister. Which one?
The part where she flashes the teacher to distract him.
Oh, misdirection.
That's a little weird. Dr. Disrespect legally can't watch that film. It gives him urges.
I mean, is there a better singular film from like a teen movie around that era than Heath Ledger singing that song on the bleachers? Like,
iconic.
I submit that there is not.
Yeah, that's iconic.
Because it's just one of those super well-known things, and it's so good. It's still good.
So last pick here, and I really had a hard time figuring out my last one. The one that I've been sitting on that I'm surprised no one took, it's another horror film. Shelby, God damn it, stop looking at the camera when I start talking. It makes
I have one left.
All right, then I'm going to go with the safe option, and if no one picks it, I'm going to reveal it at the end and go, why didn't anyone pick it? I'm going to say Ginger Snaps.
Ooh.
Of which okay, everybody, they're coming around now. So
I know it. Yeah.
I watched that movie with you.
I don't remember most evenings.
My younger sister watched that on repeat. I have it like unwillingly stamped into my brain somewhere, and every now and then I will just have a picture of her sitting in the fucking kitchen with blood in the floor, just like, hey, and I'm like, why? What? Hi.
It's fun. It's another family feel-good film. You know, two sisters, Bridget and Ginger. One night they're attacked by some kind of creature. Ginger gets bitten by the creature. It turns out to be a werewolf. She starts to turn into a werewolf. It's kind of symbolic of a girl becoming, a woman and going through puberty and all that stuff. It's layered like an onion. Now, I know all about the struggle of young women going through puberty. As a white cisgendered man, I understand the struggle. And I'd like to thank this film for showing me the truth about it. That all women turn into monsters, and that they have to be subdued with monkshad, I think is what it was.
Poisoning us with in our tampons.
I don't want to talk anymore. Let's go to Jesse.
Damn,
that's not what I wanted to pick, by the way. I'll reveal it later.
Okay.
Okay.
Shannon not wanting to pick a werewolf movie. I'll believe it.
It's not my favorite werewolf movie. It's okay. The monster is pretty terrible, but the acting is good, and it's an interesting movie. It's a low budget, I think, Canadian film. We know we got to give Canada more help. They need us more than ever.
Get Over It was on Pluto TV, by the way. I just dropped the link in there. You can watch that shit right now.
I will get over it. I'll get over to it and watch it.
Right.
Hell yeah.
For my last pick, I'm going to go with one that I know is very divisive in the group. I'm going to go with The Water Boy.
Oh, Jesse, water sucks. It
really sucks.
No kind of Santa, you're wrong. I like The Water Boy. This was the first of Adam Sandler's I'll make weird noises with my mouth when I talk movies. And it's
$80.
It's the least offensive. What?
It's the last. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, all the ones after that, I'm like, no.
What is
He's
Shelby
doing that
laughing
weird
about?
bit.
It's so good, though.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind The Water Boy. It's just the ones afterwards.
You want me to kill them?
I always just remember Farmer Fran. Farmer Fran always cracks me up. When they're
Farmer Fran is great.
Well, I think there's a part where they're all like, damn, and this goes in and he's like, Case Kyoto. And it's just,
Home and where you make it.
who that? Who Dale?
Oh damn! Yeah, I just fucking love that movie. That's another one of those movies that I'll throw on in the background. Everybody knows about my irrational love of Adam Sandler. But,
Yes.
The Waterboy in particular is just one of my all-time favorite comedies to just throw on in the background. Another one of those. It's so much fun. I laugh at almost every joke. Still, it's so good.
That was back during Sandler's peak period with me. I was a fan of everything he was doing. It wasn't until Little Nicky that I started to see the cracks in the armor, and I went,
That was good. It's one of my favorites.
"It's good, except for Adam Sandler."
What do you mean?
I can't stand Little Nicky. I'm
His-
sorry.
His voice.
That's when I tapped out.
Where's he from again, Shannon?
He's from the South, the deep South.
Now, do me a favor. Use that voice, but just say, "Oh, Jesse," real quick.
Oh, Jesse, they got me again. I'm in real trouble now.
There it is.
It's
There
pretty
it
close.
I put a camera in the women's toilet.
God, John, no!
Anyway,
Well, don't say the name.
say the name.
It's such a perfect impression. Everybody knows who he's talking about.
We
You
don't.
gotta figure
It's
out
not.
what Chunky does before you come out here.
It's a perfect impression of
in the way that Kirby, in the way that your impression of Kirby
I
is
do.
perfect.
I do solid Kirby. Hey, football fans.
Kirby is also a football fan, but by football, anyway. It's not
Oh, it's someone's turn. Probably Shelby.
Shelby.
I'm gonna pick The Craft.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I sat on that
Yeah.
thing for hours.
It's like every time after the Heathers, I was like, "Please, Shannon, no. Please, Shannon, no.
Every
Please,
time
Shannon, no."
when I said it was a horror film, you kept looking at the camera every time I started to talk. I'm like, God, I'm sweating over here.
Is that the one?
That was the one. That was the one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I was like, please don't.
That was the one.
The traffic light scene is very iconic, and I always want to just be like, green light, green light, green light, green light.
For me, it was always the ending. I don't know why the ending. Whenever they go to ask her if she has any more, any powers left, and they walk away giggling at her, and then she just, I forget what it's like. She lightning strikes a tree or something, and she just looks at him and says, "Don't end up like what's her name? I forget her name. It's Feruza Balk. Probably Carrie was her name. I don't know.
Probably.
She was in the sequel. Do you know they made a sequel?
No, yeah.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they made a TV show too.
Yeah, but the sequel was a direct sequel to the first film. They just didn't have any of the original characters in it, except for Feruza Balk, who came back at the very end because she was one of the girls' mothers. Because I think, or something. I never watched it either. It's fine. Hunter. The Craft is very good, by the way. It's much better than Little Nicky.
Speaking of what I've been sitting on, because I didn't think anybody would take it, but it is a very important one for me. Back to the fucking Future.
And I figured you were
Holy
taking
shit.
that one. That's why I didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I don't consider that a school movie. It's more of a time travel movie.
Okay, sure. Where
literally
do they
goes
go
back
when they
in
travel through time?
The 50s, I think.
Uh-huh. Where does he go when he's in the 50s? Where does the entire climax of the movie take place?
That's another one of my all-time favorite
Disco?
films. I didn't even think about that taking place in and around the nearest school.
Of
Yep,
course,
and the school is integral to the fucking set.
So-
absolutely.
The first one, at least.
So
I'm importantly not arguing with you in the slightest.
No, I know.
It's just, it didn't come up in my brain at all.
I considered Back to the Future. I did, but I left it off because I assumed Lindsay was going to take it. So I'm shocked she didn't, and you
I
did.
assumed Hunter was going to take it. That's why I did it.
Uh-huh.
All right, well,
And
then,
that's why I waited, because I figured I could play everyone against the middle on this one. See, I was playing both sides so that I'd come out on top.
well, don't tell us that.
No, I had a bunch of other options, and now that Lindsay's the only one left, I
did
can
not.
say things like, I just assumed you or Shelby would pick Jennifer's body.
I need to rewatch it.
Just
I didn't like
figured
it the
that
first
was
time I
gonna
saw it.
happen.
I need to rewatch it.
Sarah likes that one a lot. I also, well, that's really mainly it. You guys pretty much hit on the rest. I actually thought between me and Jesse, one of us would pick Accepted.
I actually did have that on my long list.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jesse, I hope you have hobo stab insurance. And this is great because I always wanted to get hepatitis.
I
and
also
there were
am
a couple of
surprised.
others, but-
I was sure that Lindsay was going to say Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Well, she's got
Well,
one
she's
more
got-
fucking
Jesse.
pick,
She wants one.
Jesse.
My bad.
It's not it, but I
Oh.
still have a pick. Thank you.
Welcome.
Back to the Future is one of
Damn,
the greatest
no one
movies of all
picked
time, and
Ferris
also a
Bueller?
great school movie.
Wow. It's crazy.
Well, let's go to Lindsay.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
she
see what
said
Lindsay's
it's- well,
last
she said
pick
it's not
actually
it.
is.
Well,
Yes.
as far as
Oh.
Ferris Bueller goes, he's avoiding
look,
being at school all
I
day,
don't-
even though it is
I
still
also-
there.
I don't think it's all that great.
I don't.
think it's
I,
kind of
I
annoying.
barely remember it. I watched
It's
it
a-
once
it's
when
a
I was
classic
3.
film.
It's a classic film, but that doesn't mean that Ferris Bueller's not kind of an annoying dick.
You know who did it
So,
better? Parker
ah.
Lewis. Oh, shots
well,
fired.
Well,
Shots fired.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I also think that Matthew
Um,
Broderick had a better film in the 80s.
He did.
Oh, War Games?
That was.
Oh,
was
it was
that
War Games, yes.
was that
100%.
before or after he killed that person? Anyway, withdrawn. True
Lindsay,
story.
real
Look
quick.
it up.
Oh, shit! I don't want to say it because it might be it. It might be it, and then I'll say I do have one legitimate honorable mention that isn't just hey, I can't believe nobody picked this. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
Back to
my
the Future,
legit
it's
one-
amazing.
Yes, it is. Mine is one of my favorite series, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Does it hold up?
Yeah,
Probably not, because the jokes are real bad in some of it, but I still love this movie.
we're gonna find out sometime this month.
Can't be any worse than Little Nicky.
I need you to stop shitting on Little Nicky.
God.
But Bill and Ted have to pass their history test or they fail, and then Ted is going to have to go to like boot
Military
camp.
school. Yeah.
Yes.
You got to be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Hail a well
Yeah.
met,
So
my
they
dude.
can start their
That-
band.
And that does make sense why you would pick that over Ferris Bueller's Day Off for sure, because it is
Oh,
100% a better film.
Like the
Yeah.
only other one I might have picked over Bill and Ted would have been Pretty in Pink, but I already picked Breakfast Club, so
I just expected all of yours to be John Hughes films.
I also
Yeah,
I know
16 Candles.
I don't like 16 Candles. It's okay, but it's not my fave.
I do have another honorable mention that I know, like, Mandy doesn't listen to this show, but if she did, she'd be really upset that nobody said Juno.
It was on my I guess long list for lack of a better term. It was in there as an option, but I remember I liked that movie pretty well when it came out, and we definitely rented it like more than once. But it's not something I have thought much about since then.
Yeah.
The only part I distinctly remember is when she's jogging around the track with him, and she's like, "You're just so cool, and you don't even try." And Michael Cera's like, "I try really hard, actually." My dad, who will never listen to this show, but my dad would be spinning in his grave that he's not in yet if I didn't mention Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh my
Of
god, my
course.
dad loves that movie.
Yeah.
Specifically the fucking Spicoli getting that pizza delivered to his history class. Mr.
God damn
Spicoli,
it.
what are you doing? Eating some pizza, learned about history. That's a good one.
When I think of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that's definitely the scene I think of most too. All right.
Surely it's not the other one.
It's not. It doesn't involve the girl from Gremlins. No.
Bum,
All right.
bum, 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 bum,
That's
bum,
gonna-
bum.
That's gonna do it for us tonight here, ladies and gentlemen, on the old podcast. We will be back next week with all new episodes of your favorite in parentheses shows, including we'll do something on Tuesday. We're not sure what yet, but we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll have a listening party for
little
My
bucka
Spirit
bucka.
Through Automation, released this Saturday, August the 3rd. This is not a joke. Or we'll play Final
What's
Fantasy.
the rest of the title?
That's true.
No, what's
Oh.
the rest of the fucking title?
Or how I stirred. Yeah. How I stirped. How I stopped. Learned to stop. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. I'm canceling this song. It's done. It's over. Trash
My
it.
Spirit
It's
Through
stupid.
Automation,
I'm trashing
or
it.
how I learned to stop worrying and love artificial intelligence.
This is dumb. Kill it. Kill the whole thing. All right.
Yeah, Tuesday we I don't know what we're gonna do because Plays is on hiatus until September. We got 4 weeks. I offered up a one shot for somebody else to run one, and
I
literally
declined.
everyone went. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we all
So
turned into
that ain't
astronomers
I
when
mean,
you
at
asked.
some point, I want to try my Hunger Games game, but that would defeat the purpose of me having a break during back to school shopping season. So,
Wait, you ain't got kids?
That is your call.
no, but I have to deal with the parents that do have them.
We also talked about bringing back Arguably Entertaining at least one of those Tuesdays. So who knows? That might happen.
I would like
maybe in the next
Shelby.
week I'll slap together an Inquest.
I want Shelby to fight against someone on Arguably Entertaining because she was never on one, and I would like to hear her argue.
That would be fun.
Let's put her against Ethan. It'll be a 4-hour show.
It's the topic, and then you gotta. It's the topic, and then you've got to let them pick from there.
We're done. We'll see you guys next week for all new episodes. Until then, go listen to this week's episodes. Go listen to the music. Thank you guys. We love you. Shelby, I'm not going to do it to you tonight, because I've already picked on you too much. Jesse, tell Shelby to take us out.
Hey, baby, you want to take us out?
You know what? I'm still confused as to how someone can write 20 pages about a fucking door and not explain how you can't make a door that keeps a priest out.
Hey, Jill.